That's an honorable.
Everybody may be seated, please. Hello, everyone. I would like to welcome you all and also thank you for joining us this afternoon as we honor the career achievements of 5 very special people by inducting them into the University of Kentucky College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. This ceremony is one of the premier events in the college's calendar because not only do we recognize our Hall of Distinction with honor, but we also use this environment, this occasion to inspire our current students to plan now for their future greatness. One of our young alums once said that when he was a student, he used to stand in the atrium of the Ralph G. Anderson building and gaze at the plaques commemorating past inductees. Seeing these plaques inspired him to make a worthy contribution to the discipline of engineering. He was inspired by the greatness of those who had gone before. So today is an opportunity to connect past, present, and future in a celebration of 5 College of Engineering graduates and their positive impact on the world. I would like to formally begin our ceremony by recognizing the past inductees who are with us today. Please remain standing when your name is read, and please hold applause to the end.
Mr. Michael Bowley, President of DirecTV Latin America North Region, located in Bogota, Colombia. Ms. Rebecca Cowan-Hirsch, Senior Vice President for Government Strategy and Policy at Inmarsat, living in Crofton, Maryland. L. Berkeley Davis, former Chief Engineer of Systems for GE Electric, retired and living in Niskayuna, New York. Ms. Elaine Duncan, founder and president of Paladin Medical, living in Houghton, Wisconsin. Dr. Ruth Dyer, Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and Professor of Electrical and Computer Engineering at Kansas State University, living in Manhattan, Kansas. J. Stephen Gardner, President and CEO of ECSI, LLC, living in Lexington. Dr. F. Joseph Halcomb III, private equity investor, who established endowment funds for the F. Joseph Halcomb III, MD Department of Biomedical and Engineering at UK, after a career as an executive in the medical device and biotechnology sectors, including Zimmer and Amgen, and resides in Camarillo, California. Mr. Billy Harper, President and CEO of Harper Industries, living in Paducah. Mr. Greg Harper, Executive Vice President and President of Gas Pipelines and Processing for Enbridge Incorporated, and Principal Executive Officer for Midcoast Holdings, LLC, living in Houston, Texas. Mr. D.L. Law, Group Executive of Operations for the Americas, living in Lake Ozark, Missouri. Mr. Roosevelt Maynard Jr., former executive at Ford Motor Company, retired and living in Lexington. Dr. Carl McHarg, retired from Oak Ridge National Lab and now professor and director for the Center for Materials Processing at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville. Mr. Ralph Palmer, President Emeritus of Palmer Engineering Company, living in Winchester, Kentucky. Mr. L. Stanley Pigman, owner of Delaware Resources and Buck Creek Resources, living in Wilmington, North Carolina. Mr. Wayne Purdom, retired from ExxonMobil following assignment as refinery manager and executive vice president of Saudi Aramco ExxonMobil joint venture. Founded Assessments Consulting and Emergency Services LLC, living in Clinton, Louisiana. Mr. Mike Ritchie, director and executive vice president of Quantum Spatial Incorporated, living in Lexington. Mr. Ken Seibert, president of CMTA Consulting Engineers, living in Prospect, Kentucky. Mr. Terry Strange, a former Dow Corning executive, retired and living in Prospect, Kentucky. Mr. Reese Terry, co-founder of Cyberonics, living in Houston, Texas. Dr. Paul Thompson, a former Air Force lieutenant colonel and associate vice president for research and graduate programs and Associate Dean for Engineering at the University of Florida, retired and living in Cary, North Carolina. Mr. Gary White, founder of White and Congleton, now Congleton Hacker, retired and living in Lexington. Mr. J.M. McYowell, retired state highway engineer, living in Bowling Green, Kentucky. And Mr. Ralph Young, retired from D. Ralph Young and Associates in 1991. Since retirement, he has authored several books, with the most recent being Forgotten Warriors, about his World War II experience. He divides his time between his wife Janice's home in Dayton, Ohio, and his home here in Stanford, Kentucky.
Please join me in recognizing the past inductees. Timothy S. Tracy became provost at the University of Kentucky on February 23, 2015. Under his guidance, over $3.5 billion, the $3.5 billion flagship and land-grant research university has gained significant momentum in fulfilling its multifaceted mission of teaching, research, service, and health. Provost Tracy has led a process to strengthen our work in undergraduate student retention and graduation, to advance our research enterprise, to strengthen our graduate and professional educational efforts, to foster an inclusive campus environment that celebrates the multitude of backgrounds, identities, and perspectives, and to implement the UK strategic plan. Dr. Tracy received his bachelor's degree in pharmacy from Ohio Northern University. He received his PhD in clinical pharmacy from Purdue University, and he completed a postdoctoral fellowship in clinical pharmacology at Indiana University. Prior to entering academia, he practiced in community and hospital settings throughout Ohio. Dr. Tracy has published almost 100 scientific manuscripts, more than 15 book chapters. He's edited 2 books and has served as a principal and co-investigator on numerous NIH-funded grants. Please welcome Provost Tracy.
Thank you, Dean Holloway, for that kind introduction and the opportunity to be with you today. I also appreciate your leadership of the College of Engineering, and under your leadership and guidance this past year alone, there are many accomplishments of the college, including redesigning the engineering curriculum to better prepare entering students with introduction to the first-year engineering program, spearheading research projects related to drones, continuing to unlock writings in the ancient scrolls, which were previously thought unreadable, and most recently developing a satellite headed toward the International Space Station. What an incredible set of accomplishments for 1 year. With the impressive faculty and dedicated faculty, staff, and students, many College of Engineering graduates have gone on to achieve notoriety and incredible success in their careers as they transform industries and communities and deepen our understanding of the world around us. And I think you just heard that with the introduction of the past recipients of this Hall of Distinction. What an incredible list. I just was sitting here listening to the accomplishments and the industries that they've either started or led, and it really is tremendously impressive. Since 1992, the University of Kentucky has honored those individuals who have filled us with that pride through the College of Engineering's Hall of Distinction. And since its creation, the Hall of Distinction has inducted 124 alumni who have distinguished themselves through professional accomplishments, outstanding character, and community service. They've set an admirable example for their fellow alumni and the students who follow them. Today we add 5 to that distinguished group: Allan Brown, Todd Johnson, Javaid Masoud, Elmer T. Lee, and Mark Whitley. Congratulations. While you've never stopped being part of the UK family, we're happy to welcome you back to our campus. Among you is an honoree beginning his journey at Warner Robins Air Force Base. Allan W. Brown has dedicated his career to improving our national security and military capabilities. William Todd Johnson was UK's first metallurgical engineering student to co-op. Now he is the owner of Alexan, an aluminum billet casting facility, and a devoted community member. Javaid Masoud immigrated to the United States at age 14. Today, he is the Chief Technical Officer at Cellnovo, leading the world's first mobile diabetes management system. Known as the man responsible for revitalizing the bourbon industry, Air Force veteran Elmer T. Lee used his engineering degree to grow and modernize bourbon distilleries, eventually developing Blanton's, the first single-barrel bourbon to be sold commercially and one of the highest-rated bourbons available. Throughout his career, Mark Whitley has worked to revolutionize the energy industry. He is currently President and Chief Executive Officer of Chisholm Energy Holdings and a lifetime member of the Society of Petroleum Engineers. These are powerful examples for our students to follow. 5 remarkable stories about where education and college experience at the University of Kentucky can take you. Each of you, in powerful and tangible ways, symbolizes how we prepare our students to live lives of meaning and purpose together. And in that spirit, I also want to acknowledge the family and friends of our inductees. The achievements we celebrate today are not accomplished in a vacuum. They require an unrelenting support network that should also be recognized and celebrated. Let us take a moment to recognize those individuals as well. Thank you for honoring your alma mater, and congratulations on your induction into the College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. Thank you.
Thank you, Provost Tracy. At this time, I'd like to welcome an outstanding student to the podium. Lindsay Gillespie is a senior from Edwardsville, Illinois. In addition to her computer engineering major, last year she decided to double major, adding computer science. She is a Singletary Scholar and a member of Alpha Delta Pi sorority. She serves as a College of Engineering ambassador, founder of the Women's Chapter of the Association for Computing Machinery, and is former president of the Society of Women Engineers here at the University of Kentucky. Lindsay was also recently awarded the UK College of Engineering Alumni Association Senior Leadership Award. She spent last summer as a data analyst intern for GE Appliances in Louisville, and as a Google Code U scholar, where she coded and worked to create a mini search engine. Starting in July, Lindsay will be working full-time at Vanguard, an investment management company in Charlotte, North Carolina, in their technology leadership program. Please welcome Lindsay Gillespie.
Can y'all hear me on the mic? Is that close enough? All right. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, and thank you for the awesome introduction. It is an honor today to represent the students of the College of Engineering in welcoming you all to this ceremony. The Hall of Distinction recognizes and honors alumni who have demonstrated distinguished engineering professional accomplishments. outstanding character, and commitment to community service. 3 things we as students hold dearly in our future lives. As a symbol of the respect and admiration held by the College of Engineering faculty, staff, and students, we bestow this honor upon those whose footsteps we hope to follow. Now for a moment, let's start by reminiscing on the few weeks before your graduation from the University of Kentucky, however many years ago that may be. I'm sure everyone at some point had been asked the question, are you excited to finally graduate? This has been a common question for me, but I never know how to respond. On one hand, I am absolutely excited because I can finally get a full night's sleep and grade myself to quarterfinals forever. On the other hand, I absolutely love UK and can't imagine moving on to the next unknown chapter of my life. But what is life without challenges? What is college without the memories of long sleepless nights in the library, hours spent debugging programs, a little too much social life on a school night, and plenty of failures along the way? As our honorees today have shown, it's the collection of experiences both inside and out of the classroom, of hard work and persistence through the adversity that prepares us for success beyond our borders campus, the borders of our campus. Armed with the valuable skill sets of engineers, you set forth to change the world. You are living examples of accomplishment and distinction. The collective success of folks gathered here today is an inspiration for students. You are the benchmark and standard we strive to meet and exceed. With the real world arriving in just 2 weeks for many of us, we look to you now more than ever in this room. While your professional acumen sets you apart as international leaders, it is your commitment to family, service, integrity, community, and accomplishment above and beyond what is required of your careers that inspires me. Now, over the past few years, we've watched cranes move around campus, dorm snatched with the most off-campus houses being built, and existing buildings improved, such as FPAD. Today, we are in the midst of a campus transformation that will vault the University of Kentucky into a new tier of institutional excellence that will attract more potential students to campus and our esteemed alumni back to campus. Now, I want to thank this year's inductees for remaining invested in this university and the future success of its students, which brings everyone at UK together toward a common purpose. Your contributions of time, mentorship, and financial resources continues to add value to the degrees we earn. I speak for all current students when I say that it is a measure of personal accomplishment we hope to mirror in our own paths. Since I've been a student at UK, I have witnessed the building of a community within our college that embraces the value of relationships. Our approach fosters community through teamwork, collaboration, and mentorship, and develops what I have noticed to be the most important ingredient to long-term success: social and emotional intelligence. When my peers at some of the most highly ranked institutions battle cutthroat competition, I regularly come here to this library to meet new people so that we can work together on tough assignments and projects. Through my experience as an intern, college ambassador, and roles in student organizations, I recognize this community is our university's chief competitive advantage. It's through this tight-knit and welcoming community that you can stay involved with the university and make a positive impact on the future lives of engineers. Quite simply, you are inspirations to me and all students at this campus. An insistent reminder that the virtues of hard work, integrity, character, and perseverance maintain a high return on investment. We look to you to show us how not only to be successful engineers, but a valued and contributing member of society. Congratulations again, and thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Terry Strange began his career with Dow Corning Corporation in 1973. His diverse career spanned the globe as he transitioned from development engineer, production leader, process development engineer, development technology leader, and production team leader to assignments such as environmental manager and site manager. After retiring in 2013, he enjoys now serving on a number of educational and civic boards and commissions. Terry received both a BS and an MS with emphasis in air and water pollution control in chemical engineering at the University of Kentucky. He is a 2011 inductee into the Engineering Hall of Distinction, and he remains active with the college as a volunteer professor for the Chemical and Materials Engineering Department, with the president of the UK, as president of the UK Engineering Alumni Association, and as a life member of the UK Alumni Association. At this time, I would like to welcome Terry Strange and ask that he come forward and bring greetings from the alumni.
congratulate all of you on behalf of the UK Engineering Alumni Association, and I do hope you are active members in the future. The accomplishments of the alumni at UK are many and actually quite astonishing. You each represent the best of the best in the fields that you came through. None of us expected faculty or students here to be in this room or up on this stage today. It just shows you what hard work, perseverance, and using that education that we received can do for us and for the world. Your achievements stand out and are an example to all students, especially those that are here today, of what can be achieved if you just put your mind to it. As the current president of the UK Engineering Alumni Association, I do encourage your participation and I request your assistance as we on the Engineering Alumni Board work to help the Engineering College. It's our desire to provide assistance to supplement some things that maybe the university can't do as easily. We work to use our talents in ways that are often not easily done by those that are already here at the university. Together, we try to make a difference to the hundreds and thousands of students at this university. Once again, I congratulate you on your many, many accomplishments. I know your families and friends are extremely proud of you, as am I. Thank you.
At this time, I would like Dr. Mike Johnson, Chair of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, to escort Allan Brown to the podium.
Allan W. Brown has developed a reputation for setting the bar high for engineering solutions in the nation's missile defense architecture programs. As Vice President and Program Director for Missile Defense National Team, Brown has integrated national and international industry-level expertise with military capabilities to deliver the highest level of fail-safe technology. During his illustrious career, Brown made significant contributions by leading multidisciplinary teams in production and new systems development programs. He introduced signal exploitation capabilities onto the Air Force's existing platforms and provided valuable methodologies and direction for determining the intent of an enemy's threat to the security of the nation. Brown has been influential in assisting Boeing towards mastering the interconnectivity of the nation's warfighting satellite and missile defense systems. He lives in Plano, Texas with his wife Ginger, and they have 2 children.
In recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on your membership in the Hall of Distinction.
Overwhelmed. To say that I am humbled by the honor to be associated with others in this Hall of Distinction truly fails to express my feelings and my thoughts at this moment. I'll get together. Even as I say the words, thank you, I am profoundly aware that they do not do justice to those who have taught me, encouraged me, gave me second chances, and refused to give up on me, not only in the pursuit of a career, but in the work in a profession characterized by creativity and just plain hard work in a profession that seeks solutions to protect others. I thank you for inviting me to be part of such a distinguished and accomplished group of people. And I wish to thank my family and my wife's family for being here to celebrate with me in this event. I once heard that a person finds their highest joy when they do the work that is meant to be theirs. My experience with engineers, I find that they are drawn to the complicated and the associated stress that require every ounce of energy that they can muster. My joy is rooted in the motivation that comes from wrestling with the complicated. First thought of that
spark came from the times when, as a young boy, I would accompany my father to telephone company switching offices. See, in those days, switching offices contained large banks of equipment that would take up tens of thousands of square feet of floor space. You could hear the chattering of the circuits and the switches as calls were made and placed and received. Transfixed by all that activity and the complication of the wiring design, I felt a real desire to figure out how it really all worked. I even liked the smell of the equipment. When it came time to choose a college and choose an educational path, my mother and I had a conversation in the kitchen of our family farm in LaGrange. And as we talked about choices, she said something that I will never forget. She said, "Allan, in heaven, there will be no further need for the field of medicine or the field of law, but there will continue to be the need for the concentrated working of an engineer's mind." She understood. She understood that inner joy comes from creating and improving something, and that this is the heartbeat of what it means to be fulfilled as a human being. As I entered UK, I originally chose agricultural engineering. To be quite honest, as a farm boy, obsessed with playing football, I felt like this was going to be the easiest path to the NFL. The knee injury that I sustained at the beginning of my sophomore year ended that dream and brought me to a tipping point. Since a profession on the gridiron was no longer going to be possible, I needed to determine a career that would inspire and motivate my desire to excel in life's work. See, I wasn't even sure I wanted to continue as a student, but a conversation that I had with my Aunt Nancy, which still remains near and dear to my heart, helped me to understand that I did have the right mindset to do whatever I chose to do. Her motivation and my experience with my father led me to change majors and focus on electrical engineering. You know, as I stand here, I realize that I've been privileged with an engineering degree from the University of Kentucky. It gave me the tools that I need to continue to do the work that brings excitement and joy into my life. I've been honored to work directly with national and international leaders to find solutions that extend the defensive infrastructures that protect communities around the world. I've been inspired by the men and women who stand between us and our enemies and have given their lives as a sacrifice for our safety. Their work motivates my work. I've been pleased to work in their missions and operations around the world. I've been fortunate to lead national defense programs that have extended our air-to-air and air-to-ground mission effectiveness, improve our intelligence, to extend our reach into space, and to lead a national team that established an intercontinental ballistic missile defense system that comprises space, air, land, and sea assets, along with the national command architecture. From all of this, I've learned one thing, that at the foundation of our profession, inspiration truly carries the day. It is inspiration that led me and leads me now to be the engineer that makes a difference. Inspiration drives my decision-making in the workplace, and it fuels me as I continue on my occupational journey. Finally, my persistent inspiration comes through my wife, Ginger, and our children, Andrew and Emily. Ginger has been with me every step of the way. With her wisdom and encouragement, I've had much greater breadth and depth in career opportunities. Without her encouragement, I probably would not have taken the opportunity to become part of the McDonnell Douglas Corporation, which is now the Boeing Company, which exposed me to a vast array of technological challenges. The understanding and support from Andrew and Emily allowed me to take on a much more diverse set of activities and interact with engineering communities across the globe. the support and love of my family. I've been part of some of the most critical aspects of what it means to defend our nation and our allies. Most of it is highly classified. All of it is some of the most challenging and rewarding for me, and it has made me a much better player on a more significant gridiron. So in closing, I'm honored to be part of this Hall of Distinction, and I thank you so very much.
At this time, I would like to ask Dr. Doug Kalika, Chair of the Department of Chemical and Materials Engineering, to escort William Todd Johnson to the podium.
William Todd Johnson is the founder, owner, and vice president of technical services of Alexan, LLC, the world's largest casting facility for diameters of billets. An expert in casting, rolling, extrusion, and finishing, Johnson is responsible for the metallurgical and quality processes of over 225 million pounds of aluminum annually. Prior to this role, he served as technical director and managing director of operations for hydroaluminum, where he provided support for all facilities in the United States and Europe and oversaw the design, construction, and startup of a new facility. Johnson lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana, with his wife Nancy. They have 3 children, all of whom are UK graduates, and 1 grandchild.
In recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on membership in the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good afternoon, guys. Hope everybody's doing well. I want to first thank the university for the nomination to the Hall of Distinction. And I can honestly say that this education at UK and my degree in metallurgical engineering, as we used to call it, now materials engineering, has gotten me further than I could ever imagine. As a farm boy outside of Owensboro, Kentucky, I wasn't even going to go to college. It was not even a thought at that time. But I made the decision with some prompting, and I'll explain that in just a minute. I want to first, right after that, give a special thanks to the engineering staff. This has just been a great day. Those of you who have been through it, it's been a great day and enjoying it so much. Melissa, I promise you I won't keep calling you, so I'll try to leave you alone for a while anyway. You've done a great job, and it's all come off so well. I guess people still use the word neat, but the neat thing about this day, it's given me a rare opportunity to kind of look back, over almost a 40-year career, and there's been so many people, and I remember the people and the opportunities that I've gotten and had. I want to spend a couple of minutes just kind of recognizing some of those special people, and fortunately, most of them are able to be here today. First, my mom and dad, Bill and Roberta Johnson, who are no longer with us, they're in heaven. They gave me and my brothers a work ethic that outshined anything that I ever learned at UK. I hate to say it that way, but there's been times when hard work and what they gave me growing up on the farm, as many of you guys did, really outshined any knowledge that I had. It was basically the work. Secondly, I wanted to honor and thank my Uncle Ron, Dr. Ron Johnson. He was one of the first in our family to go through college and medical school and so on and so forth. And he kind of helped me get that value of education, and he allowed me to do that by paying me 25 cents to sign his shoes. So that was great. You may not remember that, but that was a great opportunity. 25 cents doesn't buy quite as much as it did then. And then Dr. Hans Conrad, who some of you guys might remember his name
from the University of Kentucky. He was the dean of the materials metallurgical engineering department. And I remember the day he came to me and said, you know, we want to have a co-op program in the metallurgical materials science engineering program. And I think he knew that I needed the experience, and I knew I needed the money. So it was a real match made in heaven. So he set it up, and the co-op experience has been really great for me. My best friend, Dave Vickers, Dr. Dave Vickers, who's here today, I can honestly say that I would not have gotten through organic chemistry had Dave Vickers had not been there with me. He made sure I made it, and along the way, we have become roommates and lifelong friends and continue to be friends, which is something college offers you, that it's just amazing that you make friends for 40 years. It's just amazing. And then, of course, can't get by without recognizing Nancy, my life's partner. And I'm convinced that God put us together, and God has kept us together through some good and bad times, and probably way, way too many moves, my kids might say, too many moves that we've had to make in my career. But it's been exciting, very exciting. And then to Carly, Megan, Logan, and my son-in-law, Ryan, I just wanted to say, you guys have made it great. You know, through all the moves that we've made and different schools and different people and things, you guys have made it really great to be able to go to work and do the things that I do best. And then finally, I just wanted to say, you know, I realize as I look back that this is not just a happenstance, that there's a plan and that God has a plan, and we simply play a part in that plan. And I'm happy to say that I try to follow those steps as we go along. I wanted to end mine with just a piece of scripture from Corinthians by Paul. And it's been kind of something that stuck with me over the years. Do you not know that in a race all the runners run, but only one gets the prize? Run in such a way as to get the most important prize of all. I appreciate all this and appreciate the nomination. Thank you, guys.
At this time, I would like Dr. Mike Johnson, Chair of the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering, to escort Peggy Lee Comer, Elmer T. Lee's daughter, to the podium.
Elmer T. Lee spent his entire 36-year career in the bourbon industry. During his time at the George T. Stagg Distillery, now known as Buffalo Trace, Lee worked his way up from maintenance engineer to the company's first master distiller, overseeing the plant's modernization and growth, and tasting every bourbon produced. He is best known for his introduction of Blanton's, the world's first single-barrel bourbon to be sold commercially, and revolutionizing the industry with his renewed interest and growth in popularity. Lee spent his career and retirement actively educating the world on the heritage and unique qualities of Kentucky bourbon whiskey. He passed away in 2013 at the age of 93, with his wife Libby preceding him in death in 2006. They have one daughter and one grandson.
In recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on your father's membership in the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. James Comer will give some remarks.
I got delegated to do this, but I appreciate it. I'm very much honored. First of all, I have a great regret that Elmer T. Lee is not here to receive this. And all the wonderful things he's done in the industry, with the bourbon industry, is obviously delineated in this nice booklet here. However, I just want to talk about the man, because I have the fortunate time to spend some 17 years with him before he passed away, having married his beautiful daughter, Peggy. And he actually came to live with us the last 5 years of his life, so we could kind of look after him. But as a individual, he was one of the finest individuals I've ever met. He was a great man, a wonderful, kind-hearted person that would do anything for anyone. I don't think I ever met anyone that he met that would not be a friend. A couple of the things he had mentioned to us in his many trips around while he promoted the bourbon industry, his trips to Japan. I wanted to mention a couple of small things he related to me during one of his trips. Obviously, when we got to Japan, they asked him if he'd never been there before. He said, yes, I have, but not from this angle. Because he was a bombardier. He also obviously enjoyed a pre-dinner cocktail, and he ordered, when he was in a hotel there in Japan, he ordered a bucket of ice. And shortly thereafter, he received a whole big bucket of rice. So he had a little bit which wasn't much good for his drink, obviously. But he was a wonderful man. He would do anything for anybody. And he was like a father to me, even though I only get to spend my 17 years of his life with him. He, I called him Papa Lee. I still miss him every day. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to have Dr. Brent Seals, Chair of the Department of Computer Science, escort Javaid and Masoud to the podium, please.
Javaid Masoud has played a significant role in the world of software development. As Chief Technology Officer at Lenovo Group, he is leading the world's first mobile diabetes management system. By implementing artificial intelligence algorithms on artificial pancreas projects, Masoud is working diligently to treat type 1 diabetes. Prior to this role, he has served as technical fellow, educator, mentor, and consultant for dozens of projects from proof to concepts to release products with wireless connectivity, hardware, and embedded software. He has developed 17 patents with 46 currently pending and received 9 Excellence Awards during his distinguished career. Masoud lives in St. Paul, Minnesota with his wife, Bobby Turner Masoud, and they have 2 children.
Javaid, in recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on membership in the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction.
Good afternoon. What a day. It's, wow. It's good to be back in the big blue nation. It's been a while. Today I'm humbled to be inducted into the University of Kentucky College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. I am grateful for the recognition for my work and achievements. What an honor to be inducted, which includes this year's group of outstanding inductees. The education I received from the University of Kentucky served as a solid foundation for my career. I was here early days of computer science. I remember my first class where the name of the book was Problem Solving with Computers, followed by several cross-disciplinary classes. I may not have been invited to all the cool parties on campus, but I do have many fond memories here. For example, in McVeigh Hall, I spent what felt like millions of hours transporting a software board on punch cards, waiting anxiously for my results to come back. And for you all millennials here, this is, how far we have come. The cell phone technology, the smartphone technology, which is in your pockets today, vastly outdoes the computers we used during those days at that time. I developed the passion of computer technology right here on this campus, and this is where I began my journey. I have been fortunate to spend majority of my career developing medical devices for applications in healthcare arena. It was exciting to play a key role in the development of the first implantable dual chamber defibrillator, followed by leading a team to integrate wireless technologies in these medical devices. Nowadays, these wireless technologies allow medical devices to seamlessly connect patients to their providers, granting them freedom, peace of mind, and knowledge that they have the safety net just in case if it's needed. These were not small feat and required great innovation and bright minds. Today, my team is developing world's first mobile diabetes management system to treat type 1 diabetes. We are working closely with industry and leading academic institutions across the world. And we are implementing artificial to academic institutes to get to the artificial pancreas and implementing artificial intelligence algorithms in a closed loop system. These innovations will offer real-time personalized treatment and give patients freedom and confidence to full life. I can see how this work directly changes lives and streamlines patient care. Meeting with patients brings a sense of value and motivates me on a daily basis to continue advancing this work. It is gratifying to have made a difference in improving lives for patients and their families. None of this aforementioned work would have been possible without the interdisciplinary exposure I had here at UK. This morning, I had the opportunity to visit with Dr. Sellis and faculty and students in the Department of Computer Science. I was impressed by the innovative spirit, curiosity, dedication that all I encountered, and the work which Dr. Sellis is doing in regards to imaging, smart machine learning, and so on. Very impressive. My daughters have grown up hearing me say, your attitude determines your altitude in life. I firmly believe this. And I encourage each of you to work hard and maintain positive attitude, practice gratitude, and find your passion. I would like to share one of my favorite quotes from Steve Jobs. Your work is going to fulfill a large part of your life. And the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do this great work is to love what you do. If you haven't found it yet, keep looking. Don't settle. As with all matter of art, you will know when you find it. I can confidently say that I found it. I remain passionate about medical technology and the innovation and the discoveries ahead. My passion drives me to continue on this path, serve patients who benefit from technological breakthroughs and solutions. I would not be here today without the inspiration I have received from my mentors, colleagues, and friends. You have my deepest respect and appreciation for believing in me and pushing me to become better at each stage of my career. A huge thank you to my parents, aunt and uncle, Dr. and Mrs. Fazal Ahmed. With their continued support, I had the opportunity to come to the United States and pursue my American dream. Over 30 years ago, who could have predicted that the long hours I spent in McVeigh Hall punching cards to finish Dr. Newberry's homework assignments would lead to work on artificial pancreas projects. I sincerely thank each one of you who are here today to celebrate with me and my family, wife Bobby and daughter Zara and Aisha, and join with my sister Humaira's family, along with my extended family. Finally, a special thank to Melissa Tomlin for all the help. It has been wonderful. Again, thank you very much to University of Kentucky College of Engineering for this recognition. It is truly an honor. Thank you very much.
And finally, I would like to ask Dr. Doug Kalika, Chair of the Department of Chemical and Materials Engineering, to escort Mark Whitley to the podium.
Mark D. Whitley is committed to expertise, practical innovation, and application-specific engineering. He's become widely known for revolutionizing the energy industry by application of fracturing technology, or fracking as it's popularly known, to shale formations across the United States. During his illustrious career in the energy field, Whitley led the first integrated technology development and manufacturing center in the Middle East. He perfected the use of slick water frac used to develop oil and gas in the Barnett Shale and oversaw the largest driveline available. Whitley has been instrumental in creating opportunities, reducing risk, and delivering a wide variety of innovative and practical drilling and well construction products for today's oil fields. Currently, Whitley serves as President and Chief Executive Officer of Chisholm Energy Holdings. He resides in Fort Worth, Texas with his wife Janice. They have 2 children and 1 grandchild.
In recognition of distinguished service to the profession, outstanding character, and commitment to community service, I hereby congratulate you on membership to the UK College of Engineering Hall of Distinction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dean Holloway. When the dean called last fall to tell me that I'd been nominated and elected, my first reaction was, you gotta be kidding. So this morning in visiting with the students, one of them asked specifically, how did you get here? I said, well, life is full of opportunities, and sometimes there are opportunities that are cloaked in different, it may be more of a problem than a solution. So the opportunities came along for me to be here at UK, largely to, not to the detriment of the university, but by accident. I did not intend to get a master's degree in chemical engineering, but the opportunity to get a job in 1973 when I graduated from college in New England was non-existent. And the opportunity that presented itself was to come to UK and to work on a coal fellowship and to do research into removing hydrogen sulfide from methane, which was part of the coal gasification project that was being looked at here in Kentucky and the United States back in the early 70s and continued for many years. So what led me here was by accident largely, but once I got here quickly it became home because I'm from Campbellsville, Kentucky. My parents lived in Winchester, so I lived at home and went to graduate school. It was a pretty fine life, I have to tell you that. Then the real issue came back around again of how do I find a job? So I decided, okay, back to New England I want to go, and the answer was the same. There are no jobs in New England. So I decided to ditch that and just go sign up for any company that looked like they might hire an engineer. So every time a sheet showed up on the board over at the dean's office, I went and signed up for it. This back in January, a young man called me here from UK, Kelly Hahn. I don't know if Kelly's here today to help write my bio. And he said, are there important things that happen in your life? I said, well, yeah, and important people, he asked specifically. I said, yes, well, obviously my mom and dad, Marjorie and Whitley. But beyond that, there are other people that really helped to shape what I did that I didn't know, and what I do today, I largely owe to them. And one is a recruiter from Shell Oil Company. He recognized that my background working for Tennessee Gas Pipeline, which is the company my dad worked for 40 plus years, made me kind of unique to Shell Oil Company. So while he was recruiting for Shell Chemical, I actually went to work for Shell E&P, the upstream company, and ended up in New Orleans, met my wife Janice there. So we have family both in Kentucky and in Louisiana, and that all came about by taking advantage of an opportunity to go to work for a company that I had never thought about going to work for. So this morning, visiting with some of the graduate students, they asked me about, why did you get a master's degree? And I said, honestly, I'll just tell you, it was something I needed to do to get a job, basically. But once you get it, you become part of a fraternity in the world, really. There are very few master's candidates to begin with, and people that complete their master's immediately join a unique fraternity. So being a part of that fraternity here from the University of Kentucky makes it even more special. The opportunity to do what I've been doing in the energy business the last several years, the last 20-plus years in the heart of the energy business, and particularly in the shale plays in North America, and being in Fort Worth, Texas, which is the epicenter of that, the credit to all of this that has happened in the last 20 years is Mr. Mitchell himself. George P. Mitchell is the father of the modern energy business in the world, really, to some extent, but particularly in North America and almost exclusively here in the United States. So we are in a much better shape as a country and as a world in providing energy for today and for the future. It's ironic, there weren't many years ago that they were writing articles about us running out of crude oil and natural gas. Neither has happened, and none will happen within any of our lifetimes. So back to how did I get here? It's not by chance. It's by taking advantage of opportunities that are presented to you and doing the best you can in anything that you do, and being willing to take those chances and maybe do things that are a little bit uncomfortable, and but the outcome has been, in many cases, really just exceptionally fine for all of us. So again, thank you to Dean Holloway, thank you to the College of Engineering, and go Big Blue.
This concludes our Hall of Distinction ceremony. Congratulations to all of our inductees, and if we can give them all another round of applause. Thank you to each of you for your inspiring comments and also your inspiring careers. At this time, I would like to invite you to join us for refreshments in the room next door over here. I am obliged to announce, however, that the food that's in the room will not be allowed in the library. So if you have the food in there, as maybe you would expect, the library doesn't like food around, so the food and drink will need to stay in there. It will be a nice time for congratulating the inductees and also visiting with family and friends. We will also have a photographer, CJ, who's in the back of the room back there. And CJ is ready to take photos. If you are interested in having any family photo taken, feel free to contact and ask CJ, and CJ would be happy to provide those photos to you. Once again, I would like to thank you all for your attendance, and I would like to thank all the inductees on fantastic careers and inspiring comments as well. Thank you.